All right, so today we're diving into something that I think is super relevant to pretty much everyone listening.
Oh, yeah.
Health and fitness.
Absolutely.
We're going deep with this article.
Okay.
It's called Health and Fitness, a comprehensive guide to a better you.
I like that title.
And we're not just talking about the surface level stuff.
Okay.
We're talking about how, feeling good physically can totally boost your mental game.
Yeah.
And how what you're doing today can actually impact your future self in some pretty amazing ways.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think we often oversimplify health and fitness.
Yeah.
We think of it as I want to lose weight or I want to gain muscle.
Right.
But this guide, it kind of dives into the deeper why.
Right.
The connection between your physical and mental states and how that can actually translate to more energy.
Yeah.
Sharper thinking, and even a longer, more vibrant life.
Yeah.
Did you know that exercise can actually act as a natural mood booster?
That's totally what caught my eye, too.
Yeah.
I am always up for more good vibes.
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of people, myself included,
Mm-hmm.
we get stuck on the how.
Yeah.
It's one thing to know that exercise is good for you,
Right.
but putting it into practice
Totally.
is a whole other story.
Right.
So what are some of the key things that stood out to you in this guide?
So this guide, it doesn't just tell you to eat your veggies.
Right.
It breaks down actionable steps
Okay.
that you can actually take.
I like that.
And one of the things that really resonated with me was
Yeah.
its emphasis on the mental benefits of exercise.
Okay.
And it goes beyond just feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about boosting your brain power.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's not just about fitting into, those old jeans.
Right.
It's about feeling good mentally, too.
Exactly. When you exercise, your body releases these hormones
Okay.
like dopamine, serotonin, endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't just, feel-good chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They play a crucial role in regulating your mood, your focus,
Wow.
and even how you manage stress.
Okay.
So think about it better workouts could mean better work performance, better sleep,
Yeah.
and even better relationships.
Okay, now that's motivating.
Right.
But let's get practical.
Okay.
The guide mentions these 3 major benefits, physical, mental, and how this all plays into your quality of life as you age.
Right.
So where do we even begin to tackle all of that?
So the guide, it starts with the foundation,
Okay.
the why behind it all. And it goes way beyond fitting into, those jeans from high school.
Right.
We're talking about potentially adding years to your life
Wow.
and living those years to the fullest.
Okay, I'm sold on the why.
All right.
But how does this guide suggest we actually make this happen?
Okay.
Because there are so many different approaches to health and fitness out there. It can feel overwhelming.
Absolutely. You're right. There's a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
But this guide, it breaks things down into these manageable steps,
Okay.
starting with nutrition.
Okay.
And before you tune out thinking it's all about deprivation, it's actually about focusing on what to eat more of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm all about adding good stuff, not just cutting things out.
absolutely.
So what kind of foods does this guide highlight?
So think vibrant fruits and veggies,
Okay.
packed with vitamins and antioxidants,
Mm-hmm.
lean proteins to keep you feeling full and satisfied,
Yeah.
and healthy fats that are essential for brain function
Okay.
and overall well-being.
Healthy fats.
Uh-huh.
That's a term I hear a lot.
Yeah,
Could you break that down a bit further? What types of fats are we talking about here?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
It's not just about any fat.
Right.
It's about choosing the right ones.
Okay.
So, for example, this guide emphasizes the importance of omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
You can find these in fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds.
Okay.
And they're linked to a bunch of benefits,
Mm-hmm.
including improved heart health and brain function.
So it's about being mindful of the types of fat you're consuming,
Right.
not just avoiding fat altogether.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about portion control? Does this guide touch on that at all?
Absolutely. Even with healthy foods, portion control is still key.
Okay.
It's not about restriction.
Right.
It's about understanding your body's needs and fueling it appropriately.
So we've covered the importance of nutrition
Yeah.
and choosing the right types of foods.
Right.
What's next on the list?
Well, we can't talk about health and fitness without talking about exercise.
True.
And the great thing about this guide is it emphasizes consistency over intensity.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm much more likely to stick with something
Right.
if it feels doable and enjoyable,
Yeah.
not like a punishment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why the guide suggests finding activities you genuinely enjoy.
Okay.
If you hate running, don't force yourself to run. Explore different options
Mm-hmm.
and find something that gets you moving, makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So finding activities you enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Hmm?
It's like that saying, the best exercise is the one you'll actually do.
Right.
But what about the different types of exercise?
Yeah.
Does the guide go into specifics about
It does.
cardio versus strength training or
Eh.
anything like that?
It dives a bit deeper than just saying, like, do both.
Okay.
It talks about choosing the right type of cardio
Mm-hmm.
or strength training based on your individual goals.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're looking to improve your endurance,
Mm-hmm.
you might want to focus on activities like long-distance running or swimming.
Right.
But if you're aiming for fat burning and like a quick workout,
Yeah.
HIIT could be a better fit.
HIIT, that's high-intensity interval training, right?
Yes, exactly.
I've heard it can be really effective,
Mm-hmm.
but also pretty intense.
Yeah, you definitely want to start slow and gradually increase the intensity.
So what does the guide say about finding that balance between
Yeah.
pushing yourself and not overdoing it?
It emphasizes listening to your body
Okay.
and not comparing yourself to others.
Right.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
So if you're new to HIIT,
Mm-hmm.
you might start with shorter intervals
Okay.
and gradually increase the intensity over time.
Right.
And always prioritize proper form
Okay.
over speed or weight.
That's good advice. I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to keep up with
Yeah.
what we see other people doing
Yeah.
that we forget to tune in to our own bodies. Speaking of listening to your body,
Okay.
what about rest and recovery?
Oh, yeah. That's important.
Does the guide address the importance of sleep
Mm-hmm.
and taking breaks?
Absolutely. In fact, it dedicates a significant portion to this topic,
Okay.
highlighting how vital it is for both your physical and mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
It even goes into specific sleep hygiene techniques.
Oh, sleep hygiene. What
yes.
is that?
Well, it basically refers to like the habits and practices that promote good sleep.
Okay.
Things like having a consistent sleep schedule,
Right.
making sure your bedroom is dark and quiet,
Okay.
and avoiding screen time before bed.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll confess, I have never been great at prioritizing sleep.
Right?
I'm more of a I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of person,
Right.
but I'm always open to learning new things.
Well, I used to think that way too.
Really?
Yeah, but this guide like really opened my eyes
Okay.
to the importance of quality sleep.
So what are some of the techniques?
Okay, so some of the things it suggests include setting a consistent sleep schedule,
Okay.
like even on weekends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then creating a relaxing bedtime routine,
Okay.
like taking a warm bath or reading a book
Mm-hmm.
and making sure your bedroom is cool, dark, and quiet.
Those are all great tips. I especially like the idea of like
Yeah.
a relaxing bedtime routine
Yeah.
because usually I just scroll through my phone. Oh.
Until I pass out,
Yeah.
which is probably not the best for my sleep.
Right. The guide actually mentions that specifically.
Does it?
Yeah. It suggests avoiding screen time for at least an hour before bed
Really?
because the blue light that's emitted from electronic devices
Mm-hmm.
can actually interfere with your body's natural melatonin production,
Oh, wow.
which makes it harder to fall asleep.
Okay. I am definitely guilty of that.
Yeah.
I'm making a note to ditch the phone before bed.
It makes a big difference.
Okay, so we've covered nutrition, exercise, and rest.
Mm-hmm.
Those seem like the core pillars
Yeah.
of a healthy lifestyle.
For sure.
But what about all the other stuff that can impact our well-being?
Right.
Like stress and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Does the guide touch on those aspects at all?
It does. It highlights the interconnectedness of like all these aspects.
Okay.
It points out that chronic stress
Yeah,
can actually wreak havoc on your physical health,
right.
leading to problems like insomnia,
Yeah.
digestive issues.
And even a weakened immune system.
That makes sense. I know when I'm stressed,
Yeah.
I tend to make poor food choices
Right.
and like skip workouts.
Exactly. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why the guide emphasizes the importance of stress management techniques.
Okay. Okay, so what does it suggest?
Things like mindfulness practices, deep breathing exercise,
Right.
and spending time in nature.
Those all sound great, but sometimes it feels like I
Yeah.
just don't have the time
Yeah.
for all this healthy stuff
Right.
between work and family
Yeah.
and all the other demands of life.
Yeah,
It's hard to prioritize my own well-being.
I get that.
Did the guide offer any advice
Mm,
for overcoming that barrier?
It did. And I think this is where the guide really shines.
Okay.
It acknowledges those common barriers we all face,
Right.
like time constraints, financial limitations,
Yeah.
and even lack of motivation. And it
Mm.
provides practical solutions
Yeah.
that can be tailored to like your individual circumstances.
Yeah. That's reassuring.
Yeah.
So what are some of the specific tips it suggests for
Yeah.
people who feel like they just don't have enough time?
So for exercise, it suggests incorporating short but effective workouts
Okay.
into your routine.
Like what?
So we talked about HIIT earlier,
Right.
which is a great option,
Mm.
but it also mentions things like fitting in a quick walk during your lunch break
Right.
or doing bodyweight exercises at home while you're watching TV.
Okay, so even small pockets of time can be utilized effectively.
Exactly.
What about the financial aspect?
Yeah.
Healthy food can be expensive,
Right.
and gym memberships aren't exactly cheap either.
Totally.
What did the guide have to say
Mm-hmm.
about making healthy choices on a budget?
It emphasized that healthy living doesn't have to break the bank.
Okay,
So, for example, it suggests buying in-season produce,
right.
which is often more affordable,
That's true.
cooking at home more often instead of eating out,
Yeah.
and looking for discounts and deals at your local grocery store.
Those are all great tips. I tend to overspend on groceries
Yeah.
because I buy whatever looks good
Right.
without paying attention to what's in season or on sale.
Yeah.
I need to be more mindful of that.
It can make a big difference.
But what about motivation?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the biggest hurdle for me personally.
Yeah.
Some days it's like pulling teeth
I hear you.
to get myself to exercise or make a healthy meal.
I struggle with motivation sometimes too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this is where the guide really resonated with me
Okay.
because it offered some advice that I've actually found helpful
Oh, wow.
in my own life.
Okay, what is it?
It suggests setting realistic goals,
Okay.
tracking your progress,
Mm-hmm.
and finding a support system.
Okay, those sound like solid strategies.
Yeah.
But could you elaborate on those a bit?
Sure. So when it comes to setting goals,
Yeah.
it emphasizes starting small
Okay.
and gradually increasing the challenge over time.
Right.
So instead of aiming to work out for an hour every day right off the bat, maybe you start with 15 minutes 3 times a week
Okay.
and build up from there.
I like that approach.
Yeah.
It feels much less daunting
Right.
than trying to make like drastic changes all at once.
Exactly.
What about tracking progress?
Okay.
How does that help with motivation?
It gives you like a visual representation of your accomplishments,
Okay.
which can be really motivating.
Yeah.
You can use a fitness tracker,
Mm-hmm.
an app,
Right.
or even just a simple notebook
Yep.
to track things like your workouts,
Yeah.
your food intake, your weight,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever metrics are important to you.
Right.
And seeing those numbers change over time
Yeah.
can give you a sense of accomplishment and
Mm.
keep you moving forward.
It's like a tangible reminder of your progress,
Exactly.
which can be really encouraging,
Mhm.
especially on those days when you feel like you're not making any headway.
Totally.
What about the support system piece?
Okay.
How important is that?
I think it's crucial. Having people in your corner
Yeah.
who are cheering you on and holding you accountable
Mm-hmm.
can make a world of difference.
Yeah.
It could be a workout buddy,
Right.
a friend or family member who's also on a health journey,
Mm-hmm.
or even an online community.
Right.
Sharing your goals and challenges with others
Yeah.
can help you stay motivated and on track.
That's a great point. It's easy to fall off the wagon when you feel like you're doing it alone.
Absolutely.
But having that support system
Mm-hmm.
can make all the difference.
For sure.
Okay, so we're back.
Yeah.
And, as we've been talking, I've been thinking about how all these pieces fit together.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about, individual actions.
Right.
It's about creating a lifestyle
Yeah.
that supports your well-being in every aspect.
That's a great point. This guide emphasizes that health and fitness are like an ongoing journey,
Yeah,
not a destination.
right.
It's about making these consistent choices
Mm-hmm.
that nourish your body and mind day after day.
And it's about finding what works for you.
Absolutely.
Like what resonates with you.
Yeah,
Might not work for someone else, and that's okay.
exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
So it's not about following this rigid set of rules.
Right.
It's about being curious and
Mhm.
adaptable
Yeah.
and finding what truly supports like your individual needs and goals.
That's a much more sustainable approach.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off of striving for perfection
Totally.
and allows you to focus on making these gradual, sustainable changes
Right.
that you can stick with for the long haul.
Exactly.
And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
That's so important.
The guide emphasizes the importance of finding support,
Yeah.
whether it's a workout buddy, a nutritionist, a therapist, or even just a friend or family member
Right.
who's also on a health journey.
Having that support system can make a world of difference.
Yeah, it makes the journey more enjoyable and sustainable.
Absolutely.
And it's a great way to stay accountable and motivated. So speaking of motivation,
Done?
was there anything in this guide's advice on staying motivated
Yeah.
that really, stood out to you?
You know what really struck me was this idea of shifting your mindset
Okay.
from I have to I get to.
Oh,
So instead of viewing exercise as a chore or a punishment,
right.
try reframing it as an opportunity to move your body,
Mm-hmm.
release those endorphins,
Yeah.
and boost your mood.
I love that.
It's about finding the joy in movement
Yeah.
rather than seeing it as like an obligation.
And it can be helpful to remind yourself of the benefits.
Yeah.
Beyond just the physical.
Absolutely.
Like maybe you're exercising to reduce stress or
Yeah.
improve your sleep or boost your energy levels.
Oh, boy.
So connecting to those deeper whys can make it easier to stay motivated
For sure.
on those days when you just don't feel like working out.
That's a great point. It's about remembering the bigger picture
Yeah.
and how taking care of your physical health can positively impact every other area of your life.
And it's about celebrating those small wins along the way.
Yes.
Don't wait until you reach your ultimate goal
Right.
to acknowledge your progress.
Exactly.
Take the time to appreciate how far you've come
Yeah.
and all the positive changes you've made, no matter how small they may seem.
Absolutely. They really do add up over time.
And remember, progress isn't always linear.
That's true.
There will be days when you slip up or you feel discouraged, but it's important to be kind to yourself and focus on getting back on track
For sure.
rather than dwelling on those setbacks.
Yeah, that's where that support system we talked about can really come in handy.
Yeah.
Having those people in your corner who can offer encouragement and accountability.
Makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
Well, I am feeling so grateful to have had you here today
Oh, thank you.
to unpack all these amazing insights from this guide.
It's been great.
It's been a truly enlightening conversation.
It has.
And I want to leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question
Okay.
to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive.
All right. Hit me with it.
We've talked about all the incredible benefits of good sleep,
Yes.
but how often do we actually prioritize it?
You're right, not enough.
So my question is, what's one small change you can make to your sleep routine this week to improve your sleep quality?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I think for me, it might be putting my phone away an hour before bed.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
I think that blue light really messes with you.
it really does.
And investing in your sleep is investing in your overall health and well-being.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into health and fitness.
Ah,
We covered a lot of ground today,
we did.
but I think the most important takeaway is this.
Okay.
Health and fitness aren't about achieving some elusive ideal.
Right.
They're about feeling your best, living a life that feels vibrant and meaningful,
No.
and enjoying the journey every step of the way.
Beautifully said.
So keep learning, keep experimenting,
Mhm.
and keep celebrating every victory along the way.
Yes.
Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.